All right, folks. Good evening, IU graduate and professional students. Welcome to our second GPSG Talks at Bear's Place. Give it up. Excellent, excellent. All right, so sorry for the quick delay. We had some technical difficulties, but we are ready to go with our first presentation tonight. And it is Tingting from the Jacobs School of Music who will be teaching us some lessons about the classical piano. Tingting.
I would say the first I would like to say thank for everyone who come to support us about our presentation and our project. And second, I would like to say I'm very thankful to Reed and Josh who organized this event and to give us the opportunity to perform. Okay, pretty good. And right now, before I start the topic, I would like to introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Tingting Wu, and I originally come from China. And when I was 18, I came to the U.S. in Boston, the New England Conservatory, to start my BM piano performance major. And after that, I took a year off and then went to New York to study privately in the Juilliard School and worked there. And after that, I come to here to work at a piano AI and the master first year right now. And I'd like to say that today's topic is classical music is understandable for everyone. So there's a reason I say that. So it seems like classical music, it seems like always serious and I mean, usually when people go to a concert hall, they always need to dress up or something like that. And maybe create a little bit nervousness when you come to the concert. But I would say, actually classical music is very easy to understand because we actually gonna only split it to two sections. So you don't remember those two sections, I think you're gonna figure out what's happening in classical music at all. I would say the first one is a major and the second one is minor. I'm going to introduce that one later, but I'd like to say right now, please turn to, so I have to say, before we reach the classical music, I'd like to say, so what is music first? So any kind of music. So I'd like to say, in my opinion, this is only my opinion, it's about the feelings, moods, colors, and imagination. It's actually, if the music can evoke your own feeling, I mean, not only to the music how you feel, it's about what you think about your life and about your feeling to the music and about the mood. So I would say it's kind of the similar word with feeling, but I see mood is kind of more stable actually. So for example, in the morning I'm having a good mood to go to the school and just it kind of keep that way. And the color, I would say, you actually can hear the color from the music, but later on I'm going to demonstrate more deeply about that. And the last one is going to be the imagination. It actually evokes your thinking about your imagination when you hear the music. You're going to feel how you feel about the music, what you think, the picture you're having on your mind. So that one is actually what is music. So I would say the great performer always evokes your own feeling to let you to feel your own story and reflect that to what you experienced. And it might remind you some experience you've had or what you want to have in the future. So kind of imagination, I would say that. I would like to say, okay, so after we introduce about this one, I would like to say the next one is going to be, okay, so the most important two elements I want everyone to remember is about the major and minor. So I would like to say classical music is actually really easy because this is the only two parts. It's either major or minor. And when we reach the major, I would like to say, when we say the feeling, I would say major is like the sun. Or if we turn to the minor, it actually sounds like moon. So you can kind of the imagination. Also another one, so another example is major is and the minor is nighttime. And if the major is happiness, the minor is sadness. So it's kind of the two elements. You don't remember, it's kind of the feeling like the happiness, sadness, and okay. So it's a major, it's a warm sound, minor kind of the cold. Okay, it's kind of just like either this one or that one. So maybe the last one gonna be if the major kind of cheerful feeling, minor might be gonna be melancholy. So I have to say just so most of the classical music, the first three periods of the classical music, I would say you can definitely feel the difference between the major and minor. But maybe at the first you're kind of not sure because people think classical music is kind of serious, scary, but I would say there's no right or wrong. So what you feel about that way, it actually just, it is. I mean, sometimes my teacher told me that actually some composer, very famous composer compose some piece, and when people ask them, so what are you saying in the music? And the composer say, oh, I actually don't know, I just have that feeling right now. So, I mean, so how do I write to introduce this music? And then the composer said that you can write whatever you feel, and you give me the story, and then I'm gonna take a look to see if this one fits. And then the other people write the story, and they come to the composer, and the composer says, oh, this is what it is. I mean, this is kind of, I would say that kind of ambiguity. What do you think it is actually what it is, okay? I would say, since we remember the major, it's kind of positive, and kind of happy sound daytime, and minor, it's kind of the mood night, sadness, cold, soft, and melancholy. And I kind of want to introduce the four periods of the classical music. Okay, so the first main period about classical music, the first one is the Baroque period. It's from 1600 to 1750. And the second period is the classical period. It's 1750 to 1820. And the romantic one goes from 1804 to 1910. And the last one is contemporary period. It's from the 1900 until the present. Okay, so I like to see the first three periods all fall in the category of major or minor. I mean, the last one, we developed too fast, so sometimes they get gigs. I'm going to explain that one later. Okay, so how about the next one? Okay, so I like to say the Baroque period. The style can be described in two words. It's religious and serious. Okay, that period of time, their music kind of served for church. Okay, and there's the leading composer. I would say it's Bach and Handel. But if you want to only remember one person, that remembers the Bach. Because when the date that Bach died, the Baroque period ends. So that you're gonna remember that one. So this one, the Bach. So that one you can remember that one. So there, so he's a German, and today I'm gonna play two Baroque period samples, and I'm not going to tell you it's major or minor I'm playing. So after I play, I like to say you tell me, okay? Okay. a major or minor, but you tell me, okay? Okay, so what do you think about this one? Minor, right? Very nice. Okay, minor, yeah. So what I just played is the first one I played is Bach, the Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 1 in C major. And the second one I played is Book 1, number 22 in B flat major. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so B flat major. So I would say you kind of just trust your feelings. Actually, what you think it is probably it is already, okay? And this is the first period we're gonna introduce. This is religious and serious. And okay, so and after that, I like to see, how about 2 slides later? Yeah, classical beer, thank you. And the next one I'm going to introduce is the classical period. So that one is just right after the Baroque period. It's from 1750 to 1820. And I like to see this style. If you want to remember 2 words about this period, you're going to think about innocent and simple. I would say the leading composers are Mozart and Haydn. I think the Mozart is pretty famous. You already have an idea about who Mozart is. And okay, and okay, I right now I'm going to play a sample, and you're gonna tell me this one is major or minor. Okay? It's kind of okay. How about 3 slides earlier about the major and minor word one. One word before. Yeah, this one. So I would say the minors go to all that kind of word. I mean, any kind of words kind of have a little bit below the neutral feeling, or the majors kind of after the neutral feeling. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna play the one. This one is the Mozart Sonata in C major, and I'm not going to introduce too much about the classical period like Mozart or Haydn, but there's the one really important composer I want to introduce is Beethoven. So I would say Beethoven is actually, he is a bridge between the classical period and the romantic period. So he has a combination feeling of, I wouldn't say innocent, but maybe, I would say simple, but when we go to the romantic period, it's more expressive and emotional. So he has the 2 styles combined together. So he is the most great composer in the world, I mean, in my mind, okay? So, and I like his music a lot. So I'm gonna demonstrate 2 of his music, and you tell me is a major or minor, okay? And okay, so Beethoven. anger in the music, starting from the first chord, okay? Okay, so this one is one of the most famous Beethoven Sonata, Pathetique, movement 1, and the next one I'm gonna play. Okay, so I'm gonna play this one. Okay, so you let me know what I'm just major or minor I played. Sometimes this one, when we're getting later period, it's actually harder to define as major and minor because they have more possibilities. So the harmony, let's say the harmony structure, they become more complex and mixed together. So that way, so we still can feel. So this one is the Beethoven style. So it's combination of the classical period and the romantic period. Okay, how about we go to the romantic period side? Okay, thank you. And after we introduce the classical period, so we come to my favorite period, it's romantic period. And this one is from 1804 to 1910. And the style is romantic first, of course. Romantic, highly emotional, expressive, and what we say is a rich, mixed feeling in later period right now. And I would say there are many leading composers in this one. So leading composer includes the Chopin, I believe you must have heard the name, Chopin, Liszt. I would say later on is Schumann and Brahms. Those kind of the leading composer there. And I would say I will play two samples there also. And you might can feel like, think about the style, like the word there. I believe you can feel a little bit what's happening there. Okay. Like the sweetest combinations in this one. Okay, I'm gonna review about this one. So this one is actually major, but so this is one paragraph of a huge minor work, and that one is a 30-minute Liszt piano sonata in B minor, and it's a piece was describing about a person's whole life and the end of from the birth until the death. So that 30 minutes is what the music talks about. And this part is actually kind of love. This part is the love. So it kind of, I would say, it creates a bit mixed feeling inside. I would say more sweetness, but sometimes a little bit questioning feeling, a little bit inside. Okay, so the next one I'm gonna play. Okay, I'm just gonna play then. You're right. So this one is actually Chopin C# minor Nocturne. It's definitely it is. It gave us a little bit minor feeling, but okay. So after the Romantic period, so the next one, please. Thank you. And then we go to the current period. Is the contemporary period. Is the last period I'm gonna present, and it's actually the classical music. This is the 4 main periods. So if you remember those 4, you're top professional already, you know. So I would say so it's from 1900 until present. So I would say this style is very hard to describe because it involves all elements inside. I would say abstract, profound, surreal, sometimes it's like not true, or extremely expressive. So I would say before I would say like in Romantic we were highly expressive, just normally expressive. I would say in contemporary sometimes extremely expressive. So out of the limit you can accept actually sometimes. So I would say the next one like electronic sound, unemotional, describing subject, atonality, it means we even don't know this is major or minor anymore. So and no limitation I would say. So today, the leading composer is like Stravinsky, Schoenberg, Prokofiev. So there, Schoenberg was a German, and the other 2 were Russian, and the Debussy and Ravel were French, and then John Cage and John Adam are U.S. So I mean they're the American. So I mean actually John Adam is still alive, you know, right now. So okay, so there's the last piece I'm gonna perform for you, and I won't say major or minor. This is too hard to, I mean even for us. So I say this one. So it falls in the describing objects. So actually this one I'm going to play is Playing Water and by Ravel, and let's see if we can feel the water feeling in this piece. Okay. So do you feel like the water is a little bit inside? A little bit, right? I mean, you can think anything that you want. I mean, no right or wrong. I mean, no one knows he was writing this one. He was really thinking about water or something. Okay. So this is all four periods I introduced and about the major and minor feeling. So it's actually after this one you already understand classical music already. This is what I have. So how about the last page, please? And okay, so I would say thank you all very much for coming there to support my presentation. And yeah, so this is my emails. If you have any piano question, you can just ask me. And the second one is my Facebook page, actually. If you, yeah. And the last one is my video performance. So if you're interested, you can just check. I mean, if you have any piano question, you can just ask me, like the email. I respond fast. Okay. And okay, so this is generally like the presentation I'm doing right now. So thank you very much.
All right, this is our Q&A period for Tingting. So does anyone have any questions by chance? So, I actually have a question.
Yeah.
So, for the, what, you said your favorite period was the Romantic period, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? What separates the Romantic period from, say, the Contemporary period?
I would say,
I would say the Romantic period, I personally still can't understand it. I can feel the mixed feeling and emotion in when I was playing the music. So when I'm playing something I can understand, I can deliver that feeling to the audience. So it gives a bigger chance to the audience I can also feel or understand. So, but when we go to the contemporary period, so actually the one that I could still understand, but in like the recent works, I kind of sometimes myself even couldn't figure out what's happening in that. So I can't say I don't like contemporary, but I just can't understand it. I mean, maybe someday I'm gonna figure out what it is, and then personally, then I'm gonna like it more.
So is new music is considered contemporary as well, or is new music its whole separate thing?
I would say
There are many categories. For example, if say it's new music, so maybe after 1950, like jazz, pop, also kind of another new music style. But when we say the contemporary, this word, it actually implies kind of the music that kind of like electronic song. When I just had the class, I listened for 30 minutes, I never understand it. And yeah, so that kind of like out of your control and out of your imagination, I would say that kind of like the surreal words, like a black, dark, I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Do we have any other questions? Alrighty, well, let's give it up one more time.